Hello, everyone, and welcome to How to Set Goals That Stick. These are 5 proven strategies to ensure that you reach your goals. I want to welcome you guys to today's workshop, and I want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to show up now. I know how busy your day is, and I promise this will definitely make it totally worth your while. You know me, obviously, as your boot camp trainer, but I'm also here to help you in other facets of your life. So let's dive right on in. So before we begin, I really need your commitment on something super important. And I need your commitment, number one, to start taking notes and being a full participant while being on this workshop and watching this video all the way to the very end. I only want to connect with people who are committed to putting in what we discuss here today and putting it into action. I'm going to give you my full energy and attention here. So all I ask is that you take down notes and really get the most from this session. Okay, I want to ask you guys one question. How many of you have tried setting a weight loss or any other kind of goal before? Fat loss, doesn't matter. Again, put this down on your notepad, write it down. You can ask those questions later. It could be something like, I want to lose 10 pounds in the next 3 months for my sister's wedding. And now, how many of you have fully reached those goals, or maybe you've struggled for the goals that you've set? If you haven't been able to reach those goals, guess what? You're not alone. Super normal, happens all the time. In fact, I cannot tell you how common it is for people to decide on things that they truly want to accomplish in life, to set a goal to work towards that thing, but to ultimately come up short, leaving them frustrated and discouraged. These stats don't lie. In fact, 25% of people actually abandon their New Year's resolutions after just 1 full week. Yes, I said 1 week. For those of you that managed to push past that 1 week, 60% abandon them generally within the first 6 months. Now, I know many of you have probably said you've tried, setting a weight loss goal before, a fat loss goal, or a strength goal. Well, check this out. Only 5% of people that actually lose weight on a nutrition or diet plan are able to keep it off. And that means that actually 95% actually regain it, while many more will actually gain what they originally lost. This next thing crushes me every time I read it. Even after a heart attack, only 14% of patients make any lasting changes around eating or physical activity. I mean, how incredible is that, at having a heart attack, that isn't enough motivation to make lasting changes? To me, that's very tragic, and it's exactly why I'm here with you guys today, to help show you what you need to do to make your goals stick, so that you can make the impactful and lasting changes in your life. This is where we start with all of our clients, and why they're able to be successful, because we guide you guys through the process properly of setting goals. If you need that help, we help you gain clarity and direction from, where you want to go with any specific goal, whether it be weight loss or, something else other than that actual area. Once we have clarity within our goals, we can then map out exactly what it is we need to do. We call it our goal setting GPS. And, once you have that clarity and direction, it's so much easier to know the steps needed to achieve that goal. Otherwise, we tend to just drift along, hoping that something that we're doing will get us to where we want to go. And this is why we are here, to help you stop drifting towards the negative, and actually towards start taking the action. Dun, da, da, da. Okay, you're in the right place if you've been working on the same goal or same goals or resolutions year after year with little to no progress. Maybe you're banging your head against the wall every year and you're not getting what you need. Just remember that stat from before. The average person makes the same resolution 10 separate times without success. That's nuts. You're also in the right place if you typically start out strong, working towards your goals, only to find that your progress slams headfirst into a wall once life throws something at you. And we know that it's going to happen. How do you stay the course? And I also want you to know that you're in the right place. If you're tired of trying to lose the same weight over and over again, or reach a health and fitness goal, now that you're ready to say enough is enough, and ready to be 100% committed to it, that's really important that you are. Now, before we get to the good stuff, the main course, so to speak, I want to make sure that you get a copy of our amazing goal setting worksheet. Since we're going to be diving deep into this, the best goal setting strategies, I created a goal setting worksheet that you can start getting your goals down on paper and begin listing out action steps you'll need to take. So most of you all know me as your bootcamp trainer, and most of you on this workshop know me personally, or have been working with me for a long time, or maybe working with me now for a few weeks, being in our bootcamp program. But we can offer so much more, and I want to give you a little bit more background information if you're new to bootcamp about me. As you can see there, some of the things that we have built, and I say we, both me and Danielle, in terms of our business and what we can offer for you guys. Helped hundreds of people be absolutely awesome, I think, is my favorite. And that is you guys out there. And I love, love, love working with you to help you achieve your health and fitness goals. We have created Infinity Fitness Consultants LLC. That's our major business. Obviously, you're part of our bootcamp program. We also have a secondary business called veganfitness.guru, which is an awesome, awesome resource for making a healthy lifestyle change. And in addition to that, so many people ask us, how do we have the energy that we have? How do we do what we do? Married couple, 2 kids, multiple businesses. We also created the Little Black Dress Project. It's a plant-based 4-week body transformation program to help you get the energy and the overall changes to your body that you're looking for, that you might be lacking. It's the nutrition portion that can really, really take your goals to the next level. I think for me, in terms of my aha moment about setting life and business goals, is the instance that I learned that the most important thing that I can control in my life are my thoughts. That's the only thing I really have control over. That really helped me and pave a way for me to not only see my goals in a clear manner, but at the same time be able to map them out so I can reach them. So what are we going to learn today? Well, we're going to discuss one strategy that will make you 42% more likely to accomplish your goals. And we're going to cover how to quit proof your goals so you can finally check them off your list. How cool is that? We're going to make sure you know the simple goal setting principle that will help you stop procrastinating, and it's going to start taking massive action. And what steps then you need to take in order to start accomplishing the things that matter most to you. Isn't this quote the truth? So whenever working with individuals, I always like to ask, how many or how do you believe in the power of written goals? And generally, most people won't even, haven't even thought about it in terms of writing down their goals, which is might be quite shocking to you for some people. But then I do have a good majority of people say, yeah, I definitely believe in writing goals. My question to you is, how many of you do believe in the power of writing down your goals? So if you're one of those that believe in the importance of writing down your goals, how many have actually done it in the past? This is generally surprising to me, given the fact that most people know intuitively what their goals are. But research has proved that those who write their goals down and review them, they accomplish them more significantly than those who actually don't write down their goals. This is much like anything else that we know to be good for us, but that we fail to take action on. We know our lives would be better and we would live longer if we were to take exercise and physical activity and healthy eating seriously. We think our relationships will be better if we take time to spend with our loved ones without, the distractions of devices or life events. This evidence, is overwhelming that people set goals are happier, they live longer, and they make more money. But very few people actually do this. Now, hopefully we have an audience here, you guys, that are full of high achievers, that are listening and that do set goals or that want to set goals. And if anybody's listening out there, hopefully you're thinking to yourself, wow, I'm glad I set my goals now, or I'm glad I'm listening to this, because it's only going to help you. People get excited about goals, they see the potential, and they think, boy, this can really help me lose that 15 pounds I've been putting off, or get that promotion. This could really help my marriage, or this could really help me progress in my career. The list go on and on. So they write down 10, 15, 20, 100 goals, doesn't matter. But the problem with a list like that is if you're going to be successful with goal setting, you've got to keep them few in number, and I recommend no more than 7 to 10. More than that, you cannot stay focused. You generally feel overwhelmed, and you might feel energetic at first, but it's how you feel at first that's going to carry you through. It's your commitment to those goals that is most important to you. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to cover the 5 strategies to make sure accomplishing your goals is something that becomes the new normal for you. So strategy 1, keep your goals few in number, 7 to 10 goals. And this goes along with what psychologists say, that you cannot focus on more than 7 to 10 things at any one time. Multitasking, right? This should be balanced throughout your life as well. Okay, so no more than 7 to 10 goals, right? Where the heck do you start? Well, you could start with work goals. That's a great start there. Personal goals can be very generic or very specific. Self-care goals is another option as well. So how are we going to make your goals smarter? Now, I'm sure you've all heard of the goal setting acronym, setting SMART goals. Well, I'm going to take it a step further and helping you to set smarter goals. Okay, S for specific. Goals have to identify exactly what it is you want to accomplish with as much specificity as possible. Here's an example of probably not the best goal. I want to lose weight. I don't know how many times I hear that. Now, this is more of an aspiration than anything, and let's be honest, there's likely the 90% of the population that would easily say they would want to lose weight. But again, this is not specific enough to be a goal yet. Now, if you were to say, I want to lose 10 pounds of fat, that is much more specific, and it's well on its way to being a good goal. Okay, moving to the next letter, M, measurable. Now, the M stands for the goals needing to be measurable. The old adage says, you can't manage what you don't measure. So, you want a goal that is measurable so that you'll know when you've achieved it and can then check it off. You want to be able to see that. So, not the best goal might be, I want to earn more money this year. Again, not very specific, nor does it really have something that we can measure to the extent of knowing if we reach it or not. That's how you're going to be able to continue your progress. You've got to see if you're reaching those milestones. A better way to say this would be, I want to make 5,000 more this year than I did last year. This makes it both specific and measurable, since you know when you've reached that amount, right? You have to have that line to where you know whether you've won or lost, or how you've done so far, and it measures up for you. Another good example of this would be, I want to reduce my body fat percentage to 22% by the end of the year. A, actionable. Every goal should begin with an action verb like quit, run, finish, eliminate, etc., rather than to be a verb. A bad example of this would be, I want to be more consistent with working out. Now, a really good example of this would be, I want to work out 3 times per week, or I want to have one date night a week with my spouse. Those are actionable. All right, R for realistic. Now, this is where you want to be careful. When I say realistic, I'm not saying they should be within your comfort zone. They have to be within your discomfort zone. Not in your delusional zone, but in your discomfort zone. So you've got 3 zones, comfort zone, discomfort zone, and delusional zone. One giant thing to always remember is that change happens in your discomfort zone. So a bad example of what might be an unrealistic goal for someone is they say they play golf and that's just for fun, but they're going to qualify for the PGA Tour this year. Now, they might be terrible at golf, and they might be even decent, but this would be very unrealistic and just setting themselves up for failure. Now, maybe if they're a decent player or they're not very good at it, but they want to improve, a good example would be they want to lower their golf handicap by 3 strokes, so it's improving. It's still outside the comfort zone, yet you want to push yourself. You don't want to have a goal that is going to be very easy to achieve because it won't have the same meaning or significance to you when it becomes challenging. Okay, T, time bound or time. Every goal needs a date associated with it. And when I work with people, I really want to hone in on that to create some action for themselves and accountability. This is the difference between having an aspiration and actually having a goal. If it doesn't have a date, it isn't a goal. It's just an aspiration. It's just a saying. The great thing about a deadline is it creates urgency and drives action, right? A bad example of this would be, I want to just lose 20 pounds, okay? But if you say, I want to lose 20 pounds by June 1st, this completely changes things, right? Deadlines are really, really powerful, especially when it comes to goal setting. But you got to consider this. A really important thing to consider when setting deadlines with goals is to make sure that all of your goals don't have the same deadline, because then you'll get a good way through the year letting yourself off the hook, and then you hit the panic button or just completely blow them off as it gets closer and closer.
Excitement. It's got to mean something to you. These goals have to be compelling. It can't be something that's so incremental or something that somebody else wants you to do. This has to be something that is exciting for you to do personally. It has to light a fire under your butt to get up every morning to be working towards this. If you don't make it that, there's not going to be that accountability factor that's going to keep you moving towards that direction. There are certain things that are exciting to me, and I can't wait to do them, but these goals have to be exciting to you. And that's the juice that's going to carry you through when you want to quit or when you hit an obstacle and you're faced with a challenge. That excitement, that fire is going to light you to keep on moving through and past that obstacle. Are relevant or relevance. Your goals have to be relevant to where you are in life. And too many times it seems that we're not making them relevant or realistic to where we are, where we want to be. In my place where I can afford to spend a little time working out on me, when I go to the gym and when I do my workouts, I segment a certain amount of time on that. But I'm not a single guy, so I have 2 kids. I have a few business opportunities that I'm working on. So for me, I have to make sure that my priorities are set, for what's important to me and what's relevant to me in my life. For you might have a full-time job, 3 kids, etc. So 7 days a week to do physical activity might not be relevant to where you are in your life at this time. Just keep in mind, you cannot measure your place by someone else's. And we need to take a step back at all times and let ourselves off the hook and be honest with what is relevant to you in your season of life. Sometimes it's really tough. It can be so idealistic that we have the mentality that will settle for nothing but the best or nothing at all. And we often end up doing nothing because of that, and it becomes convoluted. Really, it's got to be specific to you. So it's really important to be honest and true to you. This is going to be relevant, or is it or do I have something less ambitious right now, given where I am? Personally, I think strategy 3 for me is the most important and most powerful. Writing down your goals, and very few people I think do this, and especially the ones I've seen when I've worked with them one-on-one. And to me, there's just an incredible power in just writing down your goals or a goal. And it's almost like you're taking the first step in your intention towards bringing that goal into reality. It's one thing to think about it. It's a next step to actually put pen to paper and put that in front of you, because then you've already committed yourself to that in your brain. Your brain realizes that. You write them down, and it's almost like your subconscious mind is looking for ways to make them happen. It's true. It happens all the time with me, and it happens to the people who do that. If you just think of them, they just tend to come and go. There's thousands and thousands and maybe even millions of thoughts coming through our brains on a daily basis. So it's a much more powerful experience when you write them down. It's like your brain says, look, if you don't have enough effort to write these down, we're not going to take them seriously. And the brain will actually do that. In fact, there is actual research done, and this is something I found quite interesting, by a Dominican university and by a Dr. Gail Matthews. And she studied a group of those that did not write down their goals and a group that did and didn't. And those... what she found was that if you just write your goals down and do nothing else, it increases the likelihood of achieving that goal by, get this, a whopping 42%. Like, that's a high amount just by writing them down. That's high. That's for just that first step. So in my mind, and I highly recommend this for you, why wouldn't you just write them down? Write down those goals, especially if it's something that's important to you, it's relevant to you, and it lights a fire under your butt. The lesson to be learned here is when you physically write them down, you're actively more engaged, and then therefore you're more aware, that's so important, of what it is you are putting down and training your body into the direction or the path that you want to go. Strategy number 4, review your goals frequently. I think this is equally as important as the third one, writing them down, but in order to get to this point, you have to write them down. This is one of the reasons, probably the biggest reason why most people don't achieve their goals. And me included, I'm guilty of this at certain points. But when I don't look at my goals frequently, I tend to forget the importance of the goals that I set. And the same will go for you. Because we get caught up in life and you lose focus, and everything else is going to grab your attention, so to speak, and pull you in different directions. So if you're not reviewing them daily, probably multiple times per day, probably should be the first thing you do when you wake up, it's going to take you in a different direction. So here's some strategies to help with the reviewing of your goals frequently. This is something I've gone ahead and done in the past. And that's basically printing out my goals, laminating them, putting them on sticky notes, keep them at my desk, keep them on my bedside table, on my on my bathroom mirror, on my car, throughout the day. Keep them in front of my mind. I also used my memo pad on my phone all the time and setting reminders in my calendar. And I've actually taken it a step further and created even a screensaver for my phone. And it has them there, and I'll, when I'm using those goals, I'll have them on the back end so I can see them and read them. And many times, I just review them over the day, and it pops right in to keep me driving on that same road that I need to get on. It's really motivational for me. So once the review process is in place, on a daily basis, weekly basis, your brain's already going to start thinking about what actions can I take, or what can it take this week, this day, to progress towards your goals. And then it becomes almost like osmosis, and that subconscious is constantly thinking for you. And you just start doing those things because your brain is your control center and it tells you what to do. What actions can I take this week to make progress towards this goal or my specific goal or goals? Okay, number 5, sharing your goals selectively. In the past, and I tend to do this sometimes too still, I used to share my goals with almost anyone that would listen and everyone that would help to hold me accountable. I think it's important to have that support system. But then I heard a really good snip from a great TED talk by a guy named Derek Sivers, and he talks about the mistakes about sharing your goals publicly, and he says what happens in your brain is that your brain thinks it already has accomplished that goal, and I can believe that to a certain extent, because people are talking about it with you, and you're thinking like it's already happened. In other words, you essentially get the same psychological satisfaction if you actually accomplished your goal. And I think that's important to remember as you're passing that along. So it's really important to make sure you share with those that will support you, that will hold you accountable. And if you share your goals selectively with people that will help to support you, by nobody who's negative, doesn't put you down, is always there to support you, and with people that will hold you accountable, I think that's obviously the real way to go. And it's important to have someone that you feel safe in sharing those goals. And it could be your spouse, a friend, maybe even a boss, business partner, coach, things like that. Myself, someone like that is going to be sympathetic, but also call you out and start making excuses, not to nag, but to keep helping you and align you towards your goals, and someone that is encouraging.
Okay, moving on to recap. 5 strategies to just absolutely crush your goals. Number 1, obviously, you don't want to set too many goals here. Really, no more than 10. 10 is a fine amount. We want to make sure we make them smarter. So specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, timely, exciting, and relevant. You have to write them down. If you're going to do this, you have to write them down. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have to make that agreement and commitment with your subconscious mind. Once you do that, then it's about reviewing them frequently, each and every day, setting little tips, reminders, using sticky notes, things like that, to really help you keep it fresh on your mind. And then share them selectively with people, support system that will provide you with the accountability and support that you need to really prosper in this. All right, how do we ultimately apply what we've learned today? Why should we set these goals? Why are they so important? Why should we do this right now? And one thing is obviously to consider, it takes less time than you think. It also pays huge dividends for such a small time investment. To me, without navigating life without goals is like piloting, a ship without a rudder. How do you get through life? How do you know where you're going? And many people I know end up at destinations they didn't choose because they drifted into that life. Not to mention the joy and satisfaction of accomplishing the things that are most important to you are at stake here. Instead, set and accomplish goals so that you can look back and say, wow, I really accomplished some great things. And if you really want to achieve a life that matters, if you want to get to the end of your life and not have any regrets, if you want to look back with fulfillment and think, wow, I accomplished some great things, you need to set goals. And this is where it starts. And it's easy. Now, if we take it even beyond your goals, it's an amazing activity to get into with your children if you have them. One thing you might have realized just how much your behavior shapes their behavior. Having goals and talking about goals in an open environment is so important in shaping kids in terms of encouraging them to think forward and work on improving themselves and making progress. We tend to do this quite a bit with ours, especially Xander. The more you can get into a habit of setting goals, reviewing goals, and making progress towards those goals, not only does it benefit you, but it has a tremendous, effect and ripple effect on the youngins in your family. When goals become a reality, isn't this a pretty great picture? And you might know her. This is Mary from one of our 630 camps. And, when we started working with her, we started out by dialing in exactly what she wanted in her life, what she specifically wanted to achieve, and then we were able to set necessary steps to getting her towards those goals. And just to share briefly, with her, nothing specific, but really had to overcome a lot of past discrepancies and thought process to get there. But we worked together to help her set her goals and made sure we held her accountable, just like we discussed here today. This is how powerful it can be for you guys. Certainly important to remember. And I want you to also remember that nothing that I've gone over with you today is in theory. This is exactly, what we do when we work personally or can work personally with campers. It's a huge part of why we do so well. So I'm not exactly sure why you showed up here today, but I can guess, you're sick and tired of not reaching some specific goal, whether it be a weight loss goal, 5, 10, 20 plus pounds you've been trying to lose. You're capable of more and that you want to reach your true potential, but it feels like the cards are stacked against you. You have a million and one things to do, and you don't know how you're ever going to be able to put yourself first. And maybe you just want to be told exactly what to do so you can reach your goals and see results in your fat loss efforts or career goals or family goals or life goals. Maybe it's another health-related goal to gain more muscle tone, to fit into those smaller clothes, that little black dress that's sitting in the back of your closet, or it's just to feel plain better. Now, I'm sure you're saying, okay, Rai, how do I do this for myself so I can start making progress quickly and easily? And in a sense, you have a few options, and you can choose to do these things the complicated and confusing way or the simple and strategic way. You can choose the way you've been going and try and figure it out all on your own. This may cause you to waste more time and feeling more and more frustrated. Or you can do it the simple and strategic way and finally get the results that you've been wanting so you can move on to bigger, better things in your life. And I'm sure you can guess which way I want you to go and hopefully which way makes the most sense for you. Now, you've already put yourself in a great situation, a support system, accountability with boot camp. South County Adventure Boot Camp is the absolute fastest way to getting fat loss results while gaining energy and confidence. But did you know that we even have another way to help you? And I'd like to introduce to you the reinstatement of our Infinity Fitness Wellness Coaching Program. Our goal as wellness coaches is to help you achieve overall physical, social, and emotional well-being by providing you with simple but effective tips, strategies, support, motivation, and we are committed to helping you make the lifestyle changes that support you, whether they be health, fitness, and specific life goals. So what you'll get as a part of this program, your one wellness coaching program could include the following, depending on your personal goals or needs. A 1-hour initial lifestyle review consultation via Skype, FaceTime, or phone. Bi-weekly, 2 per month, 30-minute private sessions, again via Skype, FaceTime, or phone. Email and text support between the sessions for the entire program duration. You're going to get an awesome goal-setting guide, handouts, and other information materials going to help you make these changes. Food journal reviews, if that's something that you need. Action planning and goal setting. Healthy recipes, if that's something that you desire and need. Food label education, of course, if that's something that you need. Again, all these are a little bit more health specific. Body assessments and more depending on your personal goals and needs. And I say that over and over because everybody is different with what they might want here. Personal support. This is going to be so important for you to achieve your personal goals. You are not alone. We're going to hold you accountable. We're going to guide you. There's a variety of proven ways to help you achieve your goals, but the strategies that we can provide for you is what's going to guide you into reaching them. Resources, guides, tips. We got it all for you. You're going to have it all at your disposal so that you can take that information and apply it to your personal goals. We're going to hold your feet to the fire here. This is what's going to get you to break through that obstacle that you normally would back down from and push forward to get to where you want to be. You're going to gain control of your life once and for all. We're going to build a healthy lifestyle that sticks and regain your energy and confidence. And using a proven system, you can expect to gain control of your life once and for all, getting that fat loss under control, fitting into that little black dress or the clothes you've been trying to get back into, making a career change, family change, life goal. You'll build a healthy lifestyle that sticks. You'll never have to worry about things like those unwanted pounds creeping on or life changes that take you down a road that you don't want to go. And you'll regain so much energy and confidence. There'll be no more hiding and avoiding those personal goals that have been lingering that you haven't achieved. So right now you're asking yourself, okay, this sounds great, it's perfect, but what's the investment? And well, the thing is, you could try and go doing it on your own and waste valuable time and money, or you could be seeing results and save yourself tons of time and frustration by investing in a proven program and system that is going to work for you. And this is exactly why we created the Infinity Fitness Wellness Consulting Program, to help people like you reach your life goals in the shortest amount of time possible. So if you're enrolled in boot camp now, which most of you should be, if you're seeing this awesome workshop, if you've taken the time out of it, we're going to give you a deal, and you can start now for only $79 a month. If you're ready to sign up, all you have to do is, once this video ends, is just click the link below on the next page, and it'll take you right to the sign up for it. We'll get you registered right into our system, and then we will reach out to you and contact you about going over our first evaluation and consultation via phone. It's a great opportunity to get started. We are only taking a limited amount of people at a time, so please make sure that if you're interested, you act now. And if you're ready to make those changes, we're going to be right by your side every step of the way. I want to thank you so much for joining us here today. If you have any additional questions, feel free to email me, Ryan@scbootcamp.com. Thank you very much.